When Jesus prayed, he faced the foundation stone in Jerusalem because he followed the Old Testament. And all Jews face Jerusalem worldwide in their prayer. So if Jesus was alive today, he would face Jerusalem, the foundation stone. Because even though Paul said, abolish the law and the prayer direction, Jesus didn't. So you either follow what Paul said or what Jesus did. Most of the people today follow what Paul said, not what Jesus did. Even though they have the Google in their hand, they don't want to search up. The Old Testament Jews followed Jesus' prayer direction. They prayed facing the Temple Mount, just like the Muslims did. That's why the Christians today make fun of the Muslims. They say that they pray to a rock. It's funny, Jesus did that too. In the Bible, Mathew 26:39, when he put his head on the ground and prayed, he was facing the Temple Mount in Jerusalem, just like the Muslims did for 13 years. So the Muslims pray like Jesus. They used to pray in the same direction as Jesus. The foundation stone, Prophet Jacob, Prophet Isaac, Prophet Abraham's lineage, the foundation stone in Jerusalem, the holiest of the holies, the most holiest site, the door to heaven, Jacob's ladder, the most important place on earth in the Bible and the Torah and the Quran, the door to heaven, Jacob's ladder. Nobody knows it, eh? Level of faith is low if you don't know what Jacob's ladder is. Christian, Muslim, or Jew. That's the door to heaven. If you don't know what that is, then you don't know much about your own faith. Because that's the direction Jesus prayed towards. Just like the Muslims pray towards Mecca now. For 13 years they prayed facing Jerusalem, just like Jesus. With their head on the ground, just like Jesus. So if Jesus was alive today, what are you going to say to him? You worship a rock? That's exactly what you'd say to him. Because you don't follow the Old Testament that Jesus follows. You don't follow the Old Testament. The Christians today, you don't follow the Old Testament. You don't know what cornerstone means. It's a direction of prayer facing Jerusalem that you know nothing about. So if you say you love Jesus and you know his message and you love Christ and you don't know that he followed the Old Testament and prayed facing Jerusalem, then you don't know anything. You know what Paul wrote. You know what King James wrote. You don't know nothing. That's why the Quran came. It's because you abandoned the Old Testament. So we continued it.